Good morning. Today is today is Monday, July 20th. I've been in the hospital since last Thursday. So this is part 2. How have you guys been? What's been going on in you guys' neck of the woods? How was your weekend? And as I always say, if you haven't had a good day, keep your eyes open, look up, because there's always a bigger, brighter, better day on the horizon just for you. Just keep your eyes open and be on the lookout for that. Alrighty? In my neck of the woods, things have been a crazy roller coaster ride. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video, but I will mention it again for the first time. At first, the doctors didn't know exactly what it was. They knew it was some kind of infection, bacteria growing around the porta cat, but just in my bloodstream. So now they are pretty sure of yesterday of telling me that it's the porta cat and wanting to take it out. There was in between staph and MRSA. So when I talked to my family yesterday, I was telling them about staph. Then the doctors came back around an hour and a half later, definitely confirmed that it's MRSA. MRSA. I will put the link down below and you can Google it and read all about it for your own benefit. Now, a lot of the nurses, doctors, and staff, they are coming in. Now, at first, not even everybody coming in with, face masks, gloves, coverings on their shoes. But, now they're coming in with the face shields, everything, especially with MRSA, not wanting to contact that on their clothes and then they bring it to another patient's room, which is respectful. I tremendously understand that, because if it was another individual, I would want to come into my room, but then once I'm discharged, I would not want to bring that home to my family. I totally get it, not offended. But it does feel a little odd. Everyone is so just dressed in like isolation clothes. When you have at least 4 different teams following you, it's very easy for things to get mixed up, misinterpreted, misunderstood. I have stood my ground countless times where doctors have thought, oh, well, you don't want to pour it out. You better walk around with something infected. No, I did not say that. I said that you guys did not know for sure what it was. I'm getting so many different opinions and ideas. There would be no reason for me to absolutely go through a surgery, getting it removed, for you guys based on a hypothesis or a guess. Now that you guys know for sure, okay, I was on board with it from the start. If you said it was the porta cat, and we're having a widespread blood infection, I have never experienced any craziness like this here. I had chest pains last night. I just literally came back in the room 20 minutes ago from not an EEG, not an EKG, it's I forgot exactly what it's called. To check my heart. With the little leads, a sonogram, heart ultrasound. Just got back in the room. So, it's just so many things looming around. No, it's not this, it's this, it could be this. Like, just make a sound decision so that I can be reassured. I do not want to walk around with anything infected in my body. So I am on board 1,000,000%. Take it out. But you haven't even talked to my neurologist, who's the one that ordered me to have this put in back in 2 years ago. Evan and I have been married going on 2 years, as May 12th has come and gone. I've got this porta cat October 1st, 2018. I remember that like it was yesterday. On the trials, talking to the doctors, meeting with the surgeon, signing papers, going through the testing, went through the whole rigmarole. So it's just, they just so gun-ho on trying to get it out. Which, okay, yeah, I understand, saved my life. But you need to stay in contact with my doctors. And I was told this morning, regardless if they talk to him or not, they're going to take it out. I understand that. But just don't override or overlook the doctor that has given the authority to have this done. Not while I'm here talking about the reason why it's in my body from the get-go. They're going to put a midline in temporarily so I can finish my antibiotics that are over there. I took my antibiotics around 4 o'clock this morning, so my next dose will be a little bit after 12. We'll be coming up soon, because right now it's 11:32 a.m. So my next dose will be coming a little bit after 12. So it's every 8 hours. Yeah, every 8 hours. I get it. Just got, results. They test my blood every day. So they either take it out my hand, arm here. This hand has been blistered. If you can see the bumps. So even the nurses, even the top nurses, have had a time drawing blood from my hand, maneuvering it. And when you maneuver, it feels like you're just literally skating on rocks. It's not gliding through anything. It's like going through hardcore concrete. It feels painful. And that's what I keep trying to tell the doctors. You want to take it out. Okay, great. But you want to have the midline there temporarily. But once I finish antibiotics and I'm doing better, you're going to take it out. What am I going to go home and do? Start back over again from day one with having so much troublesome time when nurses trying to find the perfect vein. And then if you have 2 or 3 or 5 pop up, they get, woohoo, yeah, we got access. A lot of times it tricks everybody. I've been going through this here since 2016. I wasn't diagnosed with MS until 2017. I walked around for a whole year as an acute case in hospital for 3 months, then discharged to go directly to inpatient rehab for a month and a half to learn walking, talking, eating, taking care of myself, grooming, everything all over again from the beginning. And all these problems that I have stem from one illness, MS. I was just diagnosed with cyclic vomiting syndrome, and I talked to you guys a little bit on that in the previous videos. About maybe a few weeks ago, talked to the GI doctor around the beginning of July, before the 4th of July, about he wants to do another endoscopy. That'll be my 7th one. 7th. Because I had gastroparesis and I'm not a diabetic. That stems from the MS. CVS stems from gastritis, the esophagus, the trouble I have with swallowing my foods. All those things, no matter what you talk about, it stems from that one illness, multiple sclerosis. Last night I had a hard time sleeping, vomiting, spitting up a lot of phlegm, diarrhea. Now the diarrhea is many different things. I have diarrhea because that comes with the GP and the CVS, but also the antibiotics they're giving me does make you have diarrhea. So it's so on and on. But I was constipated, so they gave me like this little clear laxative that you can mix in the water. It's odorless, tasteless. It took a whole day to work. So definitely this morning I felt the urge, and it happened. But it leaves your body depleted and weak. So there's 2 things going on. My potassium was low when I first got here. Now I'm in an emergency room. They gave me potassium. They haven't given it to me again since I've been admitted. But I don't know what my potassium level is now. But they did give me 2 pills when I was downstairs. In the emergency room. Just found out this morning that my hemoglobin hematocrit was low when I came in, went up a little bit, but now has dropped lower. They have not been giving me my vitamin D pills that I take once a week. I was supposed to take that on Saturday because if I was at home, I would have taken it Saturday, but they have not given me that. Vitamin B12 injections, I get that every 4 weeks, given by the nurses here at the hospital on the 5th floor. They haven't given me that because they could have gave it to me today. Will they today? I don't know, but I did tell the nurse that earlier this morning, that around this week, this would be the time that the nurses would be giving it to me, if I was at my regular appointments. Then I also have my iron deficiency anemia pills that I take every day, once a day. They have not given me that since I've been here. And anemia is a major issue for me that has palpitations, shortness of breath, and they think, well, that's probably due to the MRSA. Maybe, maybe not. But these are issues I've dealt with every day since I've been diagnosed with anemia. Before I even got here and find out I have a widespread blood infection. But they're not even taking care. They just focus on one thing. And I'm not complaining, you guys, to say, well, that's crazy. You got to focus on that. I am. But you also have to look at the whole picture of my body and all these illnesses, multiple chronic illnesses. I'm fighting that once. Now the port is still in. It's not out. I did call my neurologist, but he's not there today. So I don't know what time he's going to get there. The doctors did come and talk to me this morning and said they will call him. I don't know if they've spoken with him yet because that was a little bit after 7 o'clock. I called so I could speak to him for myself. I need any other, like once the infection clears up completely and go home, he said that he's going to put in my notes that I don't need a port or any other midlines ever again. You cannot make that call because you are just attending to me while I'm here in the hospital. You are not my primary doctor. You're not my overseer doctor. Even though my neurologist is not my top doctor, he is the one that ordered the port. Now, I do take a chemotherapy pill for the MS, but it's still the same side effects as if you're taking a liquid because it's the hair loss, it's the, losing my eyebrows, I'm lost eyelashes, dry throat, dry lips, liver failure, you can GI bleeding. So he's always having me to do blood work every 4 weeks and then every 2 months for liver function and a complete blood count CBC. So, for those reasons, and then having all the other illnesses, whenever I'm going to an outpatient hospital or I'm inpatient, having a relapse or whatever, whether it's according to the MS or it's something else, and I need an infusion, where are you going to go? There is no more places for you to go. I have marks all over my arms and my hands, and if you guys have been following me for a while, for the past couple of years, you would know my journey of dealing with these needles. And I'm not a surgery person. I mean, when he first told me about the PICC line, I was not a fan. But eventually, I said okay, because nothing was happening going right for me with nurses, even top of the line, finding access to get an IV. Even if they call it an IV team, it was still rough for everyone. Even going to my neck, they was looking at that as an option. So that's why we agreed, okay, let's do the PICC line. The PICC line lasted for 6 months. They became infected. It was pulled. Then did IVs for a while. Same drama again, but got worse. So many hematomas, bumps all over my hand, breaking out. My hands and my arms have literally become allergic to needles. That's how bad it has become. The Portacat, even though that's not something I would have never imagined getting, I can honestly say, I got it done 2018, October 1st. It hasn't even been 3 years. It has been a major saving grace. It has been a blessing. Because a lot of times it depends on the nurse that I have, and I have a video on that. That if they have a good attitude, good bedside manners, if they know what they're doing, sometimes they mistake it twice, and I'm like, okay, I need someone else. I'm very patient, very tolerant, but going through that so many times in your body to become affected by someone's lack of awareness or lack of training, or they're not confident or assured of themselves. I'm not a human pincushion or a baby doll for you to try experiments on. It's not fair. And then for him to make such a snide remark, well, MS is not a death sentence. I know. There's so many people that I talk to on here, on Instagram, on Facebook, that have MS, but everyone's MS varies. That's why it's associated as a snowflake disease, because no snowflake is alike. You see snow is very unique and different and cultivated in its own, special way. And that's how MS is. Everyone's illness is not the same. Some people walk around, you would never even know that they have an illness. I use a rollator every day. I also have a wheelchair at home. And if something really bad happens, then I go to the wheelchair. So I'm grateful for my doctor. But it's hard when you have situations like that, and then they just choose not to understand because they don't get it. They don't get the full pledged background of how my body is, the things that I've been through, the things that I thought I was going to die from, what I've survived. It has been the craziest, outrageous ride of my life these past 4 years. Just wondering if I'm going to take the next breath. And for any chronic illness warrior out there, you guys know exactly what I mean. Whether you have MS or not, these issues severely impact your life and then your loved ones' lives who are watching you go through in your body. It's hard on them too. And my family's not able to be here. My dad was ever came Saturday. He left at 6 because the visit hours from 10 to 6. My dad came yesterday. Around 12 to 6. He stayed the whole time, and he's going to come today. Because they only allow one person, so Ella is fine with that. But he'll probably maybe come tomorrow. But it's just so frustrating. We know all about the COVID. Tired of talking about it. Tired of hearing it. But just being here and then they're applying pressure and twisting your words around. When you say this, like, no, I didn't want to pull it out. You guys didn't know for sure. Now that you know, okay. And I told you from the get-go. If it's infected, then okay, take it out. But if you don't know for sure, I'm not going into surgery based on an uneducated guess or a hypothesis. That's crazy on me. So now that they know for sure, okay, take it out. But for you guys to have this type of mindset, or you don't need any other midlines even when you go home, you cannot make that call. Talk to you guys.